Michelle from Willowbrook has a question about floor installation.
Well, she has a building, Tom, or it's going to be a home, very similar to this one, if I can get this thing to work. There we go. There it is.
Okay.
And so what you have here is these are shell buildings that people buy and rent. Okay. And so she says it's 640 square feet, and we framed in a bedroom and one bath space, a living room, kitchen, and dining area. So they really made a lot out of that 640 square feet. They'd be very at home.
It's a new trend now. Well, you can have $1 million giant homes, and now it's the tiny home.
Right. Well, you'd be very at home in an apartment in Manhattan. Anyway, it's off the ground on blocks, she says, right? Mm-hmm. And so now they're sheetrocking now, and soon they're going to be putting in the flooring. So the subfloor is only this. Let me bring this back here and look at it
plywood.
Again. It's just and
it'll be tongue and groove plywood.
And the only thing under it is the skids underneath the house that are underneath it. So the question is, should they insulate the floor, and if so, how? Or should they attach vinyl, carpet, wood, or laminate directly to that plywood? What say you?
First off, there's a problem with using a building like that as a home. It's on a couple of blocks. When you build a crawl space home, and all that structure underneath there, all your floor joists and your beams that make up that where the plywood is nailed to, that is too close to the ground, and you have a terrible you have a chance of getting a huge termite infestation because you can't control them. Oh. So you're going to build this whole thing out, and it's so close to the ground, it is going to end up being a termite smorgasbord, I guess you might say.
So what, did she have to lift it up higher?
The rule is from the ground to the bottom of the first untreated pine board is 32 inches. So if you're not up at least about 3 feet, and I bet you they're not, you are going to have a problem. So be careful. Now, I said that you do what you want with this thing, but that's the rule, is 3 feet with any kind of lumber that's not pressure treated, and you must have termite shields between whatever touches the block, which should be pressure treated, and the block itself. Now, that's why I don't want to spend a lot of money, because someday you might have little termites coming right through all your floor.
Right, and my question is, do you own it or are you renting it?
That I don't know. Yeah. But as far as vinyl, if the plywood has a real good finish on it, if it's an A-side plywood, you can go directly to it, although you'll have to float the seams. Vinyl will show any kind of imperfection. It'll mirror right through. As far as putting tile down, if you wanted to, then you would use a thin set, backer board thin set, and then a ceramic tile. Or carpet and padding, it would go right on the plywood. So as far as the application to the floor, it's not going to be any different than if you had a two-story home.
Okay.
And you're going to put a floor on the second story, whether it's a bathroom or a laminate or whatever. You just follow the same procedure.
I would think a floating floor would be good in there.
Yeah, you could do any of those kind of things. Okay. I'm really concerned that you're going to spend a lot of money, and then someday you're going to have an uncontrollable termite problem.
And you haven't lived till you see them swarm.
Yeah, I've been telling you. My kids saw that once in the middle of the night. They didn't go to sleep for a week.
Them out, yeah. So,
yes, I'll never forget that.
So the bottom line is, what you want to do is talk to whoever is configuring that house for you and jack it up 3 feet, put a nice step in it. Why don't you put some lattice around the bottom of it or something?
Well, yeah, you got to let it breathe, and you want to dress it up, make it look good.
All right.
But it's a problem if you're just setting it on a couple of blocks. Now, people do that with storage buildings.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine, but you're decking this thing out with electric service, plumbing.
It's going to be it's a house. Be climate controlled inside.
Yeah, so be careful.
Just like you're careful to get the right answer. Send us your questions at HomeShowRadio.com. You can see our videos over here, and of course, subscribe to our channel.